Being is fat.
Say thank you. Say this is my sexy.
Okay.
Way. This is my sexy. Way.
All right, bro, we're streaming.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
Let's see now. One more thing. How do I pull up the conversation?
Restream.
Search chat, right? Okay, there you go.
Oh, I gotta change all the stuff. I'm gonna say the same stuff as earlier. That's the only thing to change about this stuff. It's gonna start with the old titles. From the lesson.
Oh,
Hold on. Wait a second.
all right, cool. Here we go. All right. I wait till Kim get it adjusted. She's going to change all the information and everything.
Okay.
Before we start sharing.
Okay. I was
I
looking.
think the title's
on
going to say the same
Facebook.
thing. Yeah, the
As
title's
you
going to
see.
say the same thing that Kim mentioned earlier. All right, grace and peace, everybody who are joining us. I see we got some people coming through. What we're going to deal with today, we're going to talk about, actually kind of is one and the same subject, but it's kind of two different subjects. We're going to talk about some current events and what's going on in the world. We talk about over in China, how China says, hey, no black people come in McDonald's. Black people, and when we're talking about black people, we're talking about actually Africans. But honestly, if we're over there, it really make a difference. And we'll talk about the difference between African Americans and Americans and different things like that. So as people come in, we'll probably be repeating it several times. So we're just gonna, give a minute for everybody to come join us. Oh,
Okay.
I also got the what's name? I know you see this. Can you see it?
Yeah, why you be doing it backwards though?
Oh, because it was backwards when I seen it.
Oh yeah, you're good.
That's crazy. It's backwards right there.
Oh,
But,
okay.
yeah, so I'll read about Ham.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's upside down to me. Huh.
Yeah, because there is a difference in nationalities. A lot of people don't understand the differences. So I'm glad you actually have that, Devin.
Yeah,
But
I think that's the first thing we should talk about before we start getting into, what's
Right.
going on over in China and different things like
Right.
that. Do you have a
Right.
news article, or is it a news? What is it? Is it an article? Is it a video? What's the video?
No, I have a video. But I just wanted to say, hold on, I just wanted to finish what I was saying. So like you said though, even if it is a difference, look the same, so we probably still won't get the same type of, punishments or condemnments that they're getting over there in China or all over the world. Yeah, I just have a video of what's going on over there when it comes to the race relations.
Okay. All right. And also, if Stephanie wanted to participate, she can actually type into the
Yes, I did tell her
YouTube?
last week.
Okay.
I remember you had mentioned that last week.
Yeah.
I did say that. I did tell her that.
Yeah. So anything on YouTube and Facebook, I can see.
Okay.
You can see what's on Facebook.
Right.
So if anything comes up on YouTube, I'll read it and let them know. All right. Did you change everything, Kim, already, or?
Well, I changed it on YouTube.
Oh, you didn't change it on Facebook?
I'm about to change it.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. All right. Cool. Then I definitely see us up here on Facebook.
All right. So you want to write down the scriptures I got, bro? All of them, so we can able to follow along with each other.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
Yep. I'm ready. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Ready?
All right. First scripture, we're gonna start off in Isaiah 46, verses 8 through 10. We're just making small talk. I'm getting the scriptures to write down so it'll be easier for us to flow and he knows what's coming next and different things like
Isaiah
that.
46, 8 through 10.
Yeah. And then Deuteronomy 28. Now we can jump around with this, but I got like 15, 16, 21, 25, 26, 30, 32, 37, 45, 46, and 66. And like I said, whatever you want to add to it or skip, or we might read them all, we might not. Depends on how how the conversation goes.
Flows. Right. Okay.
And again, Joel 3. Oh, you got all those in Deuteronomy?
Yeah, I say I'll just put Deuteronomy 28 for now.
Okay, that's cool.
So then we'll just skip. Okay.
All right. Then Joel 3, 1 through 6. And then Isaiah 42, 20 through 22. Which is the chapters really what's important. We'll get there. Once you get there, then you know where to go. So
and I might just, Devin, I might, depending on how the conversation flows, I might break up the Joel and Isaiah and put First Kings there, if you don't mind.
yeah, that's fine.
I'm just saying, depending on how it flows, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
Sandy, nobody's trying to play with you. Yeah. So that's fine. Like I said, we're not stuck to any of these things.
Right.
That's the thing about a conversation. It just will go as it leads us. All right, everything should be updated.
What did I just share?
You probably shared Isaiah's lesson.
Yeah, I think I did. It's fine. What did I just share? I thought it was that one.
Well, the name hasn't changed yet. Kim just updated the name.
Oh, okay.
Search. All right, so I'm about to share this.
I thought it was that one.
Well, the name. Changed yet. Kim just updated the name. Oh, only because my phone is up. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I'm posting it now. All right, we can go and get started, bro. You want to open us up with a prayer?
Yep. I was still trying to find it on Facebook. I don't know, for some reason I can't get it back up. Just give me 1 second, Devin. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's fine. We'll get started and I'll find it as you get in your introduction. That's fine. All right. So, Heavenly Father, thank you for a beautiful Sabbath. Thank you for just ultimately trying to gain more understanding and being able to praise you and preach your word throughout the world. Dear Lord, please give everyone here that's just listening now and on live with us, YouTube and Facebook, just more understanding of how we can get closer to you and ultimately get to where you are. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll get started, as people come in as we go. So what we're going to talk about today, like I said earlier. So during our conversations, we talk about a lot of things. We talked about so many different things from vaccinations, yay and nay. We talked about last week, we talked about divorce and domestic violence, and ultimately end up talking about the man and woman relationship in general and marriage, which that was a real good conversation. So if you haven't been watching the news lately, you notice, or you haven't watched the news lately, you notice that there's been a lot going on with China and Africans, or China and Black people. So about 2 weeks ago, around the 11th, there was a McDonald's in China, and actually put a sign saying "No Black people allowed." And there's a lot of racism going on over in China, and it's something that's not really talked about that much in the United States. I don't think it's mentioned at all. I mean, you hear it on social media, of course, but I don't think news is covering or anything like that. Peace, bro. Happy Sabbath to you, man, brother Isaiah. So we're going to talk about, first we're going to talk about Israel. We're going to talk about how Israel and the predicament that Israel in because of disobedience, and actually who Israel is. And we're gonna talk about this distinguish the difference between Black people. Because first, that's something as Black people we need to talk about, that not all Black people are the same people.
Right.
Because we think that it's a Black thing when actually they're different nationalities. Just like over in Asia, you have, Japan, you have Chinese, you have Japanese, Chinese, you have Koreans, and Philippines. You have so many different ones, right? And to people who aren't used to seeing them, they all look the same, like they're the same people. Well, they're not. They're different. And just like Black people, we have people from Ghana, Zimbabwe, you have Nigerians, and you would think they're all the same people, which they're from different countries. And even us, we're African Americans, but we're still different from a Nigerian. We're still different from somebody from Zimbabwe. We're different from the original Egyptians who are actually the same skin tone. So before we get into China and the African problem, first we need to deal with the African problem amongst our own selves, about our identity. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then, of course, we'll take any questions, we'll take any comments, we'll take anything that you want to add to the conversation. If you're on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can go ahead and type and we'll see it. And you can respond, and you can and we'll read some of your comments. If you're talking like on Facebook, like we just got a comment, peace, brother Mike Marlin, how you doing, bro? Happy Sabbath. Good reading last night, by the way. We can respond. This is the whole conversation thing. Of course, we're going to open up the Bible and go through it. And if you're new to this, you can find out, well, why do Black people say they're Israel anyway? Because you get a lot of that. A lot of African Americans and Blacks don't understand why we are saying we're Black, or why we're saying we're Israel. And it might turn some people off. Well, I want to hear all that. But I mean, facts is facts, and we'll just reason through the scriptures with one another. And then if you understand that, then maybe we'll have a better understanding of what's going on in China, how all this stuff evolved, and this, and this. So why don't we go to Isaiah 46 to start this off? You guys say anything to say during the intro, bro, before we get into the scripture?
No, you said everything that I actually wanted to say, but it definitely is important to figure out, the differences between nationalities, and understanding too that what happens over there, when it comes to the African nationality affects us because we so closely resemble ourselves. And throughout the Bible, that's when we got in trouble. That's what we ran to, and vice versa. When things, we were close at one point, but we'll talk about that throughout the lesson. Well, throughout the short scripture, then we'll get into question and answer.
Right. All right. So once again, when you're coming on, everybody, grace and peace to you. Send us out a happy Sabbath so we know who's here. You can tell us where you're from if you want. That would be great. That would be amazing. So let's get into the Bible. Everybody grab your scriptures. If you have your scriptures with you, open it up. We're going to go to Isaiah 46. So I like to start, anytime I like to talk about history, I like to start in the book of Isaiah, especially in 46, 47, and 48. Because God says something here to prove that he is God, to prove that he exists, to prove his power. He's the one that tells us the future. He tells us things that's going to happen before they happen. So it's kind of like when the scripture says, my word would not come back unto me void. Right. When he say it's going to happen. So it's a long line of that. So let's go to Isaiah 46 and let's start at verse 8 and we'll get into the discussion. When you get there, brother, go ahead.
Remember this and show yourselves, men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am God and there is none else. I am God and there is none like me. Declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasures.
So off the bat, God is telling us why he's God. Right. Because he said, I'm telling you things that have not been done yet. Can you imagine what other religion or God will tell you the future? I mean, write it down in the book. I'm not talking about, like a preacher just saying you're going to get a check for $1,200. I see your future. You're going to get a check for $1,200 because you've been watching news and he gives some of that Rona check. You mean, I'm talking about something serious. Like if God is really God, he could tell us things that happen. You know, if he's the same yesterday to ever, he's I am, which is always. He can tell you all this stuff before it come to pass, right?
Right. You're not talking about Nostradamus, are you?
No, I ain't talking about Nostradamus. I ain't talking about no Mayan calendar either.
Right.
Which
Right.
all of
That
that
was my second thing I was about to bring up.
Yeah, you know, you got anything you want to say, Isaiah?
No.
Okay. For those who don't know, brother Isaiah sitting right next to me, so you might hear him jump in.
Okay.
He's still
okay.
right here, but he didn't want to get on camera.
I got you.
But so now let's look at some future. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28, and we'll just get to the meat of the subject. We're gonna point out some different things, and of course, we're gonna share our screen because if we're gonna read history, we should be able to see history through history. You know what I mean? We should be able to see this stuff in history, like pictures or artifacts or something to say that these things took place and who these things apply to.
Right.
All right. So in Deuteronomy 28, we're going to start at verse 15. Let's look what the Lord said here. And he's talking to the children of Israel. Go ahead.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Mike, have you done a lot of traveling in your day and age?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. Let me ask you a question. What is it that all Black communities have in common?
They all look the same. They all, and it all looks like the ghetto. All looks like the hood. They all are the poor. And I'm not just saying this because, you know, this is where we're going with this. It is where it is. No matter what city you're from, you know, I'm from Philadelphia. You guys are from the Chicago area, Illinois. It looks the same as Philadelphia.
I know, brother Isaiah K, you from New York. Matter of fact, he said we will talk about how Israel got to Asia and trade as slaves. You can bring us some information, bro. They can throw it up there. We're gonna talk about that as well too.
Where's that?
Right.
Is it on Facebook?
That's on Facebook. Yeah,
I did not see that. Okay.
It's on the Permanent Churches page, not yours.
Oh, okay.
If you can go to churches, can you go to the churches page and you'll see all the comments there. I know, Isaiah, you're a truck driver, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, how many different cities have you seen where Israel's at? What do they look like?
yeah, they're all the same. Many of
Mhm.
many
Yeah.
different cities, and they're all the same.
And what we mean by the same is mean they're messed up.
Right. Right.
You know, I mean, we got abandoned buildings everywhere. You know,
MLK Boulevard.
MLK Boulevards. If you want to
Everybody got one of those.
Yeah. If you go down them, they all look the same.
Right.
And my whole point is, he said, curse you be in the city and curse you be in the field. And when we came to this country, where did we end up? We end up in the field, right?
In the fields. That's where we got it. I got it from. Yep.
It's a bad situation. And now we're in the city, and our cities are like what? They could curse.
Yeah.
As a whole, you know, I'm talking about as a whole. Now you can pull up Kobe Bryant's house, or you can pull up Oprah Winfrey's or Michael Jordan's, and you can get compared to the percentage of who we are. That's like less than 1% of 1%.
Right.
But I'm talking about us as a whole. You know,
right.
It's all the same, and it's messed up.
Right.
Now the question is, why don't we never ask ourselves why is that? It's just something that's accepted. You know, we always got a philosophical reason. Oh wow, bro. Isaiah K posted a whole bit article. That's cool. We'll get to that in a minute.
I see it. I got it.
Yeah. So we the point is, he said, curse you be in the city and curse you be in the field. And we're not going to just spend all day talking about that. We'll just get to some more meatier stuff. Read verse 21.
The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee from off the land whither thou goest to possess it.
All right, so pestilence and sicknesses. What's all the sicknesses that we have? We have any sickness, almost all of them known to man for the most part.
We're usually at the top of the sicknesses, you know, even here with the, you know, the coronavirus, you know, there's some Black people, remember, and I think we talked about this earlier last week when it was saying, oh, Black people can't get it when this first happened. Now, it's funny how the roles have reversed. Now all of a sudden, the majority of the people who are getting it are Black people,
Right.
are quote unquote leaders, Magic Johnson, some of the pastors, depending on what city you're from. They're trying to galvanize us to get tested and galvanize us to actually do the right thing and stay home.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, though, Devin, or the Lord's right in saying that, we got all the sicknesses and diseases.
Yeah, you got high blood pressure, you got heart disease,
Right.
Sickle cell, all types of stuff that's just it sticks with us.
Right.
And I was in the union one time, and I remember one of my instructors was like, "Man, I don't know why do Black people always have high blood pressure?" And I told him maybe because it's dysphoria, and he was like, "That got to be it." It blew his mind.
Mm-hmm. He knew what the dysphoria was.
I had to explain to him what it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but that's how the slave trade, and he understood when I said
okay.
that.
Okay.
He always remembered that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this is what the scripture is saying, and like we said, the Lord told the end from the beginning. And we got to see who actually fit this stuff. Right. And you can shake your head. People say, "Well, that can't be us." A lot of people have high blood pressure, but not to the degree that we have it.
The percentages, right? The percentages are. I know people that are inherently born with some of these diseases, and I don't know any other culture or nationality that, like you said, that has it like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we can also jump down to verse. Man, there's so much we can read in this chapter, but I don't want to spend all day.
Right.
You can read verse 25.
Oh, I didn't hear who said. I'm sorry. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them.
All right. So, I didn't even put that. I should have put that on there too. But okay. So it says we shall be removed into all kingdoms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means we did not migrate.
Right.
So we didn't come through New York, did we?
No, we didn't.
We didn't see the Statue of Liberty.
Well, we might have came through New York, but it wasn't like everybody else did, right?
Right. It wasn't like everybody else, right? It wasn't. We was actually, a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share my screen here as soon as I can find the right button.
Okay, and
go ahead, bro.
I'll wait.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay.
I'm having technical issues over here.
All right. So as Devin does, Devin reads some of the comments on Facebook and keep on commenting, guys. Even on Facebook, I can't see the YouTube thread, but again, Devin can see that and he'll read those comments if you guys are on YouTube. But I'm just going to read some of the comments from up top. Isaiah said, "Peace, Sabbath." So did Mike Marlin. Hey, Mike and Isaiah, peace to you guys as well. Hopefully you guys had a good Sabbath. Kim shouted out where she's from, What block you claiming, though? I know. Isaiah said slave trade, which I think he put down here, which was the scholars asserted that the context began as early as the 4th century AD, but evidence is sporadic or lacking, beginning with the Tang dynasty, which began in 1618 AD to 907 AD. That evidence of contact and trade exists, showing a relationship between China and the city-states of East Africa. This relationship has evolved over the centuries, and led to a migration of Africans in China to study trade and act as diplomats. At least one account indicates that Du Han was the first Chinese to visit Africa, probably in Nubia, during the 8th century AD. Since the 7th century, Africans have maintained a consistent commercial relationship with China. During the Tang dynasty, Arab traders brought African slaves from East Africa to China. They comprised one of the many commodities in the Arabs' large-scale maritime trade with China. During this era, the first Chinese cultural perception of African people developed. These dark-skinned people were known as, and I can't pronounce the word, but I think it says Kulan. Wow, that's in depth. Thanks, Isaiah. And it basically sums up, and I want to talk about this later on about how most cultures think about us in terms of at the bottom of the barrel. We all talk about the Gentile nations, but not just them. All nations, the Chinese nation, consider us like this as well. I wish I could our face, but I can't. So I don't think I can do is like and love things. Oh no, yeah, there you go. I see it. So Isaiah also said, put another good one in your inbox. This time last year, I was going to cover this paper I wanted to write on the matter of Israel being slaves all over. All right, and Kim said hi to Britt. How you doing, Britt? All right, I'm done with the comments, Devin. I don't know what inbox Isaiah had put in, and it might be yours, mine, or even the church's inbox.
Okay. Am I sharing right now?
Yes, you are. You have the article up.
All right. So this is the article that I was talking about. Now, the scripture we just read in 25 says, Lord shall cause thee to be smitten for thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before him, and thou shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. All right. So now we have the African diaspora. What is it? The African diaspora refers to many communities of the people of Africa dispersed throughout the world as a result of historic movement. That's a better way to say you've been thrown in slavery.
Right.
So acquiring the west parts of Africa. If you look at the picture that I'm showing, I got the little, I don't know if you can see the cursor. Can you guys see the cursor?
Yes, we can. We see everything.
Okay, so west coast part of Africa, that's where a bulk of it was. And you can see it went out through the entire world. And you mentioned the southeast part of Africa. You can see that at the bottom. So this went out to the entire world.
Right.
So this is what happened to the slaves that were there. Now, what we're going to make a distinction that the Lord is talking to a specific people about, Israel. This is the Israelites. This was happening to them. This is when the Lord is talking to Moses, to the children of Israel, and while they were in the wilderness. So he's telling them future that's going to happen to their people because of disobedience, and it's further down the line.
Right.
And we can actually pull this stuff up in history. It's an estimated 11 million Africans were dispersed from the Atlantic slave trade from Western Ghana, Nigeria, Central Africa, Congo, Cameroon, and an estimate to 10 to 80 million from the Arabic slave trade. Now that's what Isaiah K was talking about. I think it's another link to the Arabic slave trade. That's why it's crazy when we become Muslims. We don't realize why that happened to us.
Right.
We became Muslims because we were under Arabic Ishmael. We'll go to Ishmael. Ishmael enslaved us, so we followed their religion.
Well, it was kind of forced upon us, just like how people say that the
traditional Christianity.
Say again.
Traditional Christianity.
Yes, exactly. Traditional Christianity is forced on us too. So no matter where we go, we're not going to get the meat and the potatoes of what we need, which is the book.
Now, notice what it says here. Despite popular association with the United States, only 5% of American slaves went to America, while remaining 95 went to Central America, South America, and the Caribbeans. So like African Americans and other Africans in the diaspora faced challenges in their country and shared a common history. So when the Lord said right here, verse 25, Deuteronomy 20, verse 25, you shall flee 7 ways before them and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. These people were literally removed. They weren't, it wasn't like it was a cruise ship.
Right.
They didn't get on a love boat. It was quite the opposite.
Right.
So
it was the death boat, and I'm not making light of it, because what we didn't picture in there, Devin, was that how many of us died on the way throughout the diaspora.
Exactly.
Millions of us has died. So
get on this, bro.
Yeah, it was about 1 million or 2 million that died on the way.
Right.
On the ships that didn't make it over here to America.
Right.
So that's that.
I'm going to read some more of these comments real quick, Devin.
Go ahead.
Because they were just piling up. I'm sorry. So, Isaiah also said at the top that not scholarly, but it can help. Talking about the inbox, he inboxed me as well. So Kim also talked about the hypertension and the blood pressure, and she, I think, has a link up there. But basically, I more than 40% of non-Hispanic African American men and women have high blood pressure. That's crazy. That number is crazy. And everybody's taking some type of medication to get their blood pressure down instead of, doing what they're supposed to, not eating the wrong stuff.
I mean, if you're prone to it in your DNA, it's even harder to fight.
Explain, Devin. I'm sorry. So,
some people can just have high blood pressure just because, in their DNA, they automatically have high blood pressure.
Right.
So it might not be all diet. I'm not saying diet ain't helping.
Right.
But it might be harder for some people to bring it down than others.
Right. Okay. So I agree with that. That's what we were talking about earlier with you're born with most things, and this is the curses on us. But because you're born with something doesn't mean you can't, do better.
Overcome it. Exactly. Yeah, right, you can.
Right. Isaiah, I'm sorry, Kim said hi. I said in the box, and then Britt said hi, you guys. This is all new to me, so I'm listening, but this is so crazy. Yeah, it was kind of mind blowing for me when I first heard about this years ago as well. So Kim also posted something up there, Chinese city targets, and I'm gonna try to look at that. I can't bring it up.
Oh, it's a link that they can read. Okay. It might be covered in your video we're gonna watch.
Okay.
So we'll keep that link though.
Right. Okay. And Britt said it seems like anything to stir up trouble and chaos. Cooking methods, eating habits, and other stuff was westernized. And that's why Britt and Isaiah saying that. And then Kim also said, yes, blacks are predisposed to heart disease, hypertension, and diabetes. And I definitely agree. Hey, Renee, how you doing?
Renee?
Yeah. Sister Renee.
How you doing, Sister Renee?
Hi, Renee.
She can hear you, bro.
Okay.
Everybody can hear you, just clear.
Right. No, so, but just like the curses, a lot of people use, we're already cursed, we might as well just go ahead and just do whatever you want to do anyway.
Yeah, that's not the proper way to do it.
Black people, as Israelites, I'm sorry, but that's not the mentality you should have. You can always do your best to overcome some of the natural, I call them natural hazards that God put us on. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, cool. You want to read verse 26? I don't have a picture for this, but I don't think we really need one.
Okay. Yeah. We don't need one for this one. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Okay, so that's just basically a hanging. Yeah. We all know the song Strange Fruit. If you don't look at the Strange Fruit, what is it about? Billie Holiday?
No, that's Simone. What's her name? Simone. I forgot her name.
Okay. Whoever knows the song Strange Fruit and who sung it, go ahead and put the title and the singer in the comment box. But that's what basically she's talking about. She's talking about strange fruit, talking about African Americans being hung, and they would stay there, and the animals would actually eat them. It's kind of like roadkill. That's how they consider slaves.
Billie Holiday
again? No. She might have wrote it, but it's someone else.
Okay, I just looked it up and said Billie Holiday.
Okay, so it was Billie Holiday. She wrote it.
Yeah.
Nia Simone.
Yeah.
Nia Simone. Okay.
Nia Simone.
Yeah. We didn't hear you. You're not speaking loud enough.
I did. I heard him.
Okay. Yeah, Nia Simone.
Yeah,
okay.
Simone.
Yeah. So so that carcass. So that's something that happened to us as a people. And remember, this is the Lord talking about the future. Something hasn't happened yet, and He's identifying who Israel is.
Can I ask you a question, Devin? Could they even represent what the Romans? Back in Jesus' time when the cross and you would see him as you walk the roads or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, matter of fact, Couture was just studying that in her Bible class at school.
Okay,
about how they killed so many of the Jewish people.
Right.
In 130 AD is when they was like, y'all get out and don't come back.
Right.
So, so basically what I'm saying is that we can see the stuff in history and we could Google, I can Google and pull up some pictures, but that might get a little too gruesome.
Hmm.
But it's still stuff that we can actually pull up and actually see.
Right, right.
Oh, what about verse 30? No, we can, yeah, verse 30.
Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
All right. So now we know what happened. It's one reason why we got so many shades of color in the Black community now, right?
Right, right.
Because like it says, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. We understood that when Master felt the urge, and Mrs. Master didn't feel like doing anything, what did he do?
Yeah.
You know, he did what he did. Matter of fact, that's why one of the reasons I don't even like watching Rosewood, because as soon as you get at the beginning of the show, you ever seen the movie Rosewood that happened in Florida?
Oh yeah.
That's what's
Oh,
even
yeah.
in slave time, huh?
No, I said, oh yeah.
Yeah, remember the first 10 minutes of the video, that's what it started off with.
Right.
The white man pretty much making his way with a little girl.
Right.
You know, so that is history. And the Lord get really, I mean, this is really direct. I mean, it's not like it's pulling you punches back.
Right.
And it's only one people that just happened to across the world like this. Now, have people been hung? Yes. Have people been raped? Yes. But like this, you know, but there was nobody removed all over the world like we have.
Right.
You know?
We don't have a home. We don't have a nation.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Right.
Do you I'm sorry, go ahead.
We can read
Do you have
32.
35 on there?
No, but you can read 32 and 35. That'd be fine.
Okay. So 32 is, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
Right. I mean, we can pull up a clip from Roots. You know, when Kunta was trying to keep Kizzy,
right,
and she was sold, and the only thing he could do is hit the ground.
That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
No power in his hand at all.
And matter of fact, we were just watching a clip from 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
And they was trying to sell the young man. He, you know, he had the stick and say, okay, show him your strength, boy. And he had to pull his legs up. Isaiah says it's like the football combine.
Yeah, the NBA combine.
Yeah, NFL combine, but that's what he was doing. He said, look, he a strong beast.
Well, it kind of goes into that type of thinking anyway. You know, NFL combine and the NBA combine, any type of combine. We're the athletes. We're the entertainment.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with it, but you know, they didn't. Then when I say they, the powers that be, have ingrained that in our heads that hey, that's the only thing we can do is shoot a hoop or rap music.
Yeah, or music, yeah, or entertain, dance for
entertain, right? Entertainment.
So, but this is history too, right?
Yes, it is.
This is history too.
Yes, it
I wonder if I can. Do I have did it? No, I got some other ones for that. We'll share my screen up in a minute. Did you want to read 35?
Yes. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. You know, so I just wanted to keep on bringing that up just because of the times that we're living in now. You know, it's, no matter what, just reiterating what he said up top, we can do it all, you know, from head to toe. And it's the same type of plagues that he put on Egypt that we ran away from, but now it's upon us because we disobeyed the Lord.
Right. You want to read some of the comments? Oh yeah, we probably want to move further. We can go ahead.
Okay. So Kim, I'm sorry, from Kim's comment, Renee said hello, great information. Then she commented hello again and then talked Nia Simone. That's what she came up, answered the question like an MVP, and this is MVP. Then Kim put both of the YouTube links to the Nia Simone version and how Billie Holiday covered it. That's what Isaiah said. And then Billie Holiday, Kim put that version up too. And she said enjoy, which I will not. But I get the point. Do you want to move on, Devin? Because we're
actually, there's one more comment there.
I don't see it.
Oh, okay. Renee said, Strange Fruit was originated as a poem written by Jewish American writers, teachers, and songwriter Abel Meerupel under his, I can't see that because my screen cut off. Basically, it says as a protest against lynching. In the poem,
Wow.
Meerupel expressed his horror at lynching, inspired by Lawrence Beater's photograph of the 1930 lynching of Thomas Shipp and Abram Smith in Marion, Indiana.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't come up, but that's sad. Jewish, right? Figure.
All right. I mean, it's a whole bunch of other scriptures we can read. And, you know, one thing I do want to get to where we are now, then we'll get to the whole China discussion, because that's what this whole thing was about. Let's go to Isaiah 42. I just want to show here, because, oh, wait, you want to get to Joel. Because we're already like 44 minutes into it, and we still
No, that's fine. Let's, yeah, I want to get to the African, I mean, the meat of this whole thing too. So that's fine.
All right, so I want to read Isaiah 42. I just want to show how the Bible lets us know that who we are. And I want to pull up the, while you read that, bro, just read verses 20 through 22. I want to pull up the,
So 20 through 22 says, seeing many things, but thou observest not, opening the ears, but he heareth not.
mhm,
The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable.
mhm.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore.
All right, so they said these people are hid in prison houses, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, here we go. So, prison population. This is 2013, and believe me, it hasn't changed since. So, prison population, 36.2% in the prisons are African Americans. 12% of the population. So that's insane.
Yeah,
We
that's
13% of the population, but almost 40% in prison.
mhm.
Now the Bible says we should be hid in prison houses, right?
Mhm.
Let's say, what about the people who say they are Jews? That would be others.
Yeah.
And that's not even just them. But
Mhm.
you fall on the other. So we got to know that this is talking about a black people,
Mhm.
because we are hid in prison houses and we're treated unfairly across the entire world.
Mhm.
You know, and the facts show it. Now, this is 2013, but this was prophesied in the book of Isaiah, which was 3,000 years ago.
Right.
And we are still hid in prison houses. Bro, remember we used to go to the prison house in Michigan?
Yeah, Michigan.
In Michigan City, yeah, it was full of us in there. I used to call it the house of Jacob, because that's where we were.
Right. Right.
You know, and this is
We don't even make up a great number of the population, but then when we do, most of us are in prisons. And everybody knows somebody that's in prison. If you're a black people,
I've been in prison.
a cousin, an uncle, somebody that either come out of prison or going back to prison.
Right. Now look at this. You see in this one chart, it says blacks 549,100. It's more blacks in prison than it is whites.
In general, just in general. Yeah.
I mean, this is just number for number in 2013.
Right.
Not percentage, but number for number.
Right. But
and
go ahead.
They make up 64% of the population, and we only 12%, but it's only, and we still have 50,000 more of us in prison, or 4,500 or more, 45,000 more of us.
Right. No, and it's crazy. It is truly crazy.
Yeah. So that's just something I want to show real quick, to show you how the Bible, it calls all this stuff, and God already called it from the end. And this is why, this is real short, even though we talked about it for a minute, why black people say we're Israel, because the scripture call out our name. It points, all the signs points to us. It's not like we're just boasting and trying to be tripping about it. It is what it is.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna start showing. We can go ahead and get to the meat of it, of far as Africans in
Devin, just real quick, I want to show just the video that I have after we see some more of the comments, because it looks like there's some other comments going on. So we can transition to what the topic was, if you don't mind.
Like I said, prison like an inmate.
What happened?
What did I do?
No, I said that I wanted to transition to the topic at hand.
No, I'm looking at the comment. I'm sorry.
Are you on the YouTube or Facebook?
Facebook.
I was about to read the Facebook comments too.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's fine. So Isaiah said wiki on, you got a wiki leak on Jews in China, and it says the Jewish Chinese community manifests a wide range of Jewish cultural traditions. It also encompasses the full spectrum of Jewish religious observance. Though a small minority, Chinese Jews have had an open presence in the country since the arrival of the first Jewish immigrants during the 8th century. Relatively isolated communities of Jews developed through the Tang and Song dynasties, 7th to 13th centuries, all the way through the quaint, I can't pronounce that word, but I think it's Qing dynasty. Thing, I don't know. It's Q, and okay. I don't know how they pronounce it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see where you are. Okay.
19th century, most notably the Kaofeng Jews. The term Chinese Jews is often used in a restricted sense in order to refer to these communities.
All right. So what I want to clear out what I said. It's not like I said I've been to prison. Me and Isaiah used to go visit prisoners in Michigan City prison.
Okay.
So that's why I said the prison we went to, brother Isaiah, in Michigan City. Yeah.
Right.
So I'd never been to prison or never been an inmate.
Right.
But we did go visit prisoners, and part of the prison ministry we were a part of.
Okay. All right. And good post to Isaiah. Can you just explain, because I'm just a little lost of exactly what might have you been getting at when you posted that? I'm assuming
Chinese Jews. I think he's saying we're the Jews, and it's talking about us.
Right, and there's a small percent of Jews, quote unquote, that are there in China. That's what I think, but I don't want to assume.
Right.
Kim
check out the video. You want to check out the video?
Yeah, I was going to read the last two comments.
Okay, go ahead.
Kim said, "I don't know what you said, Devin Williams, but it sounded like, oh, that's okay. That's what you're." Yeah. Okay, I got it. I didn't go over that, and then Isaiah said I heard that too. So. I'm going to, and Debbie knows it's going to take me a while to figure this out again since I don't have Kim with me. But just give me a moment. I'm going to share the video, just basically what they're doing over there. I think I got it.
All right, while he's doing that, have you guys even heard about this situation going on? Not in Facebook, but just in general. About what's going over in China and with the Blacks and the African Americans. Oh, by the way, I did want to. Oh, strange fruit.
Yeah. Yep, here you go.
All right, cool.
Can you guys see?
On April 8th, a large number of African people in the southern Chinese city Guangzhou were driven.
You can't hear it?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Okay.
Out by their landlords and had to stay on the streets. Another video shows many Africans dragging their luggage aimlessly through the streets of Guangzhou. One of them says, "We are just walking on the road. They can't give us a house. They can't give us a hotel, and they cannot provide a place we can stay." It comes after all of the cases reported by Guangzhou authorities in April were reportedly related to African people. Chinese media have only reported about testing people from abroad. They haven't talked about testing locals, so we can't rule out the possibility that many of the locals are also infected, but it's not being reported. It's led to discrimination against Africans among local Chinese. One citizen says the Africans staying on the street are a potential safety threat and a virus transmission hazard. Guangzhou is likely going to be a catalyst that ignites southern China. Japan will spend
So that's
$2 billion
basically
to move its manufacturing from China to other countries. Before the pandemic, China was Japan's biggest trading partner. But in February, imports were slashed by nearly half as factories in China shut down.
So that's basically it. Just wanted to get to that part about how they just, they're putting them out. They're saying they can't, go to hospitals. They can't go grocery shopping. They can't even live in their buildings that they've probably been living in for years because, racial discrimination. I'm gonna read some more of these comments. And, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about anything that me and Devin just been talking about? I know Devin said, have you heard about it? And I see that Isaiah and Sister Renee both had heard about it. They are being arrested and being refused at restaurants, among other things. So it's, and don't think it's not happening to us, because we're all into this mix, all in this stuff. Why do you think they specifically Asian people think that way about us?
Well, I was reading an article. I should have probably posted it. It said that it was a recent, I guess, resurgent outbreak, and it was what started it. It was like, what was it, 16 people? No, 14 people were infected at one point. And 5 of those 14 people were African immigrants, and that's how it started.
Okay.
And then shortly thereafter, the United States saying, well, Black people are the ones who get it. They get it more than anybody, and this, and this. So it was kind of I don't know, say the media, but everybody looking for a scapegoat. And of course, the finger always get pointed back at us.
Right.
So, and I'm not saying that all Africans are Israel. We didn't get into that in the discussion, but if we were over there, they don't know the difference, nor do they care to find a difference between us and them.
Right.
So if they get treated and discriminated problems because of their skin, because all they see is Black,
right,
we're wrapped in that as well.
Right.
Some
of these comments. Kimberly said, so sad they don't know the difference between Black and Africans. So if it happens to them, it is a hazard for us in China as well. Yes, good point. And it's crazy. Isaiah said, to make it plain, if you look at what I sent before, the slave trade was popping the same time as the Jewish religion was popping off. There is a Jewish presence now, but they are linked to the people in Israel now. Dare I say stolen history.
I got you.
The Kulan people were thought of as beasts and forced to live in mountains and whatnot. Now today we see the same treatment all over again. Okay, I got it.
Got you. Right.
Thanks, Zaya. Yeah, and it's the same thing. It's the same cycle. The outbreak was linked to African immigrants. Yes, Devin, you hit it. And China has an irrational fear of a Black invasion, bringing drugs and crime and interracial marriage.
They should put a wall around China because we heard that before.
Right. So, and that's my point too, because even before all this was breaking out, the Asian population had a general fear of us anyway. And why is that? Why is there such a generalization? Because from what I understand, this is just my, I guess, life studies, I guess. From what I understand, the Asian population, Chinese culture, they are more so to themselves. They rarely see one of us walking around their streets. It's not as diverse as it is America. Matter of fact, most places aren't as diverse as America in some parts of Europe. What they see is their only inkling of, a Black man is what they see on movies, what they see on rap videos, and how we're portrayed. So then if we're portrayed like animals and violent people, I assume, and I'm not giving them any type of a reason to be racist, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Were you the one who told me about Kobe Bryant?
Yes.
That was you who told me that?
I was trying to find it and I couldn't find it anymore, but
they probably took it down.
Yeah. So what Devin's speaking about, you want me to explain that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What Devin's speaking about is most of us know they loved Kobe Bryant over there. They loved Kobe. Like
Michael Jackson.
Right. So when he died, though, when he got into that accident, him and his daughter, the comments. I watch a lot of anime. I know it's kind of a weird talent. I mean, not talent, a weird thing, but I do. So and some of the threads that I go on, a lot of their threads comments was, oh man, I hope he's dead. You know, now his sneakers are going to be worth 3 times more than what they were. You know, die. You know, and for lack of better words, N-word, die, N-word. And this is the people who, you know, I know they love basketball. They love Kobe Bryant. And I'm not saying they're racist, but it's a type of mindset that they have that's just sad.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I'm gonna read some of the comments, Devin. I'm sorry. So
No, don't apologize.
Isaiah said, I'm sorry, yes, there are many Afro people documenting their experiences living in Asia all over YouTube. Tamar can explain it better. Yeah, it's sad. Racism is called ignorance for a reason. So in this case, lack of exposure and familiarity makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's not all of them. And I'm not trying, I know me and Devin aren't saying it's all of them or all of them.
No. We just know what's going on. We can't say Chinese people are racist. It's just people. There are some racist people that live in China.
Right.
Just like we can't say all white people are racist. We can say there are some racist people that are white.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right.
And, you know, I think honestly, even though it's a sad thing, it doesn't shock us like it shocked other nations.
No, it doesn't.
You know, people are like, oh my God, in 2007, in 2020, we're still dealing with this. Black people are like, yeah, and
it's just,
you know,
it's never going away.
Not until the Lord come back.
Yes. Hey
Not
guys,
until the Lord come back.
Thanks for the comments and, you know, keeping this thing interesting. And me and Devin really appreciate it. And keep on commenting YouTube and also on Facebook.
Yeah. So other than that, I mean, we got anything else we want to share? Because it's 6 o'clock and I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about, or anything else you want to get deeper into it, or any comments? Or?
No, just I think it was a good talk because all this is, you know, current events and what we were talking about earlier. You know, the Lord called this, you know, how many thousands and thousands of years ago.
I know.
And this is history and it's happening, and then we see it happening. So, just keep a watchful eye.
Oh, okay. Well, I do want to cover something real quick. We got a little time. I do want to read this. This comes from the Bible dictionary. I know you guys can see it. It's upside down. I see it.
It's not backwards anymore either.
It's not backwards anymore. Okay, so this is we're talking about Ham, because all Black people are not the same Black people.
Right.
You know, it's commonly believed that we sold our own people into slavery.
Right.
Which is not the case. It's just one Black people sold another Black people into slavery. It's just like if somebody from Ireland sold somebody from, I don't know, Scotland,
Italy
into slavery. They're still the same skin color, but they're two different nationalities.
Right.
So I'm gonna read. It's a Bible. It's a dictionary. It's the Zordavan Compact Bible Dictionary, and it says about Ham. It says Ham, the youngest son of Noah, probably born about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. It says he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and Canaanites. Now, a lot of people say, well, we cursed because of Canaan curses. I was like, we're not Canaanites. Right. We know we're Negroes.
Right.
But we're not Canaanites, because here it says he became the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes. He said, but the Ethiopians, the Egyptians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites. So here, you know how like you were saying that when Jesus wanted to hide, where did he run to? When Joseph was scared because they were going to kill him, he ran to where? Egypt.
Egypt, right.
Moses hid from the Egyptians in Pharaoh's roof the entire time because he blended in.
Right.
You know, he put his hand in his vest and it came out, it was white, but then he put his hand back in there, it was a different color. If his hand was the same color, then it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
You know? And it's in Joseph, you know, his own brothers didn't even recognize him, you know, while during that whole process, because he blended in with the Egyptians because he was the same skin tone. And we know the Egyptians were black, you know, even though they're Arab now, but the original Egyptians were black. So it's not necessarily a black thing, and all Africans are not are Israelites. It's just that the Israelites are black people scattered throughout the world, like we read, but we do blend in with, you know, other dark-skinned nationalities.
Nationalities, right?
Yeah, like somebody walked up to me when I was at work, and Kim been calling me a Nigerian ever since. He was like, "You look like you're Nigerian." I said, "I don't think I'm Nigerian. I'm not Nigerian. I've never been there, born in America." He said, "No, you look like Nigerian." But I met a Nigerian whose grandmother told him that their ancestors fled from Israel.
So
and he thought she was crazy.
Yeah, go figure, right?
Yeah, because he looked at me, he was like, "I thought my grandmother was crazy." That's literally what he said. He said, "She told me the exact same thing." He said, "Huh." But then he was like, "Oh, well," and he walked off.
Yeah. Don't think anything of it.
Right.
I'm gonna read some of the comments, but I know I have the same story. You know, I used to go to a for work as a conference, and you know, we get our, you know, brothers, and well, not our brothers, but you know, brothers and sisters from Africa, and you know, basically told me, and he understood what I was doing. He's, "Oh yeah, you know, we're not the same." You know, so they're more inclined to understand that than, you know, if you talk to an African American, they like, "No, what you talking about? I'm from Egypt, or I'm from somewhere else." So they're more inclined to understand that there's a difference than, you know, us. Right. Isaiah Kim said, "Ireland and Scotland is a great comparison. Many people get them confused, but they are different people, just like blacks." Yeah, no, you're right. Just like blacks, though both brown skin are different people. It blows minds when they find this out. Yeah. Isaiah also said, Igbo people?
Igbo. Isaiah. Yeah. What was the name of the Danite?
Igbo had Hebrew history. Okay.
The Levi tribe. So those are the ones that the guy tested their blood with?
Yes.
Okay. So you want to explain that real quick, bro?
Yeah, there was a guy from Great Britain who went down to, I guess, down this tribe called the Levi tribe down in southern Africa continent.
Can you tell Isaiah to speak up just a little bit more? I can't hear. I don't know if I can hear either.
There was a British journalist who went down to the southern African continent, and he met this tribe called the Levi tribe, and they said that they were Jews. Can't hear me?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, I heard that. Yeah.
Oh, so what he did was he tested their blood because they said that they were Jews. So he tested their blood against other Edomites, so-called Jews. And when they came back, they found that it was a match. It was a real clear match.
Actually, that's when they flew them into Israel then, right?
No, they didn't go to Israel. They flew the Colossians into Israel.
Oh, those are the ones they told to get out recently.
Yeah, yeah, I know that.
But they wanted to help the Colossians, but the Colossians were like, I'm not Colossians. They wanted to help the Lima tribe, but the Lima tribe said, "We don't need no help. We know who we are.
Yeah,
and we're just happy with what we're doing.
Right.
Okay.
We don't need your help.
Yeah.
For us to do that." So they were well, people who recognize this as being something significant, but it flies by a lot of the other people who were saying, don't recognize it, don't think that it means anything. But people who know the Bible and the scriptures,
right,
see this, they're like, okay, then this is what the Lord is doing. This is significant. This is showing us proof, giving us receipt for us to go ahead and say what the Lord is doing, and that all this stuff is real, because you can see it happening throughout the world.
Right. Isaiah
had put after the last Jew in Roman war, we see in Hebrew church in Ethiopia, Levi tribe has also kept traditions but practiced Muslim faith.
Yeah.
Some of them, but a lot of them, practice the Jewish stuff,
Jewish
with
faith.
dietary law
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of that stuff. They knew that they came from Jerusalem. They knew why they were kicked out. They had all that.
Are those the ones that say they got the Ark of the Covenant?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, there's an Ethiopian tribe that say they actually have the Ark of the Covenant.
Well,
Did
that,
they show it?
No, they never showed it. They just said they have it.
well, you said
That is-
Ethiopian tribe, then yeah, those are Colossians.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's true. Because I was watching this documentary, they talked about the chase for the Ark of the Covenant, what happened,
Right.
and they said the Ethiopian tribe actually have it.
I need to see
So they
receipts.
say.
I need to see some receipts.
I know, right? See some receipts.
Right.
It is-
All right.
Well, I don't have anything else. I know, like you said, I know we've been on here for a little longer than an hour.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so as we conclude, I want to thank everybody from, well, Isaiah just posted something real quick. Igbo are Nigerian people.
Yes.
Well, a tribe of Nigeria. Look at look of the war between the Europe people and them. All right, cool. You're talking Ethiopia. All right. So thanks everybody for joining us, and thanks Isaiah for all the links you shared. Thanks for Sister Renee, of course, Kimilo, our producer. She's been on point as usual. Thanks for all those who dropped in and viewed and spoke and just spent your time here with Bible Christian Discussion. Once again, if you guys got anything you would like to talk about, post it on our Facebook page. If you're on YouTube, just post it in the video. We'll get the notifications and we'll write it down. Make sure you follow us on Facebook or follow us on YouTube. Click the notification so you can see what we're doing next and when our next live stream is going to be, which will be next week, Friday at 8 o'clock for our 30-minute Bible lesson. And then, make sure you share this with other interested people. Go ahead and share the video, share the discussion with other people who think will be interested in this. We can always need to share this with one with another. That's what this whole thing about. And other than that, you guys have a wonderful Sabbath and a blessed week. Continue to pray for everybody during this time of crisis. Don't get complacent and get lax. Make sure you keep diligent about staying safe and distancing. I don't care what they open up, people. Seriously, if they open up the bowling alley, don't go bowling. I mean, let this stuff die down. Don't listen to what they saying. Hold off getting your hair done, because last we need is for any of us to get sick again and make this thing worse. So go ahead and have a blessed night. Mike, you want to close? Say anything in closing?
No, just stay safe, everybody. Be safe. No, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Well, everybody have a blessed night and peace to everybody in Jesus' name. You want to say something, Brother Isaiah, before we head out?
No, I'm done.
You're done? Okay, cool. All right. Have a good week.
I'm sorry, I forgot. We are going to get to them to say what we're going to do next week, right? We don't.
Yeah, we'll let them know. I haven't looked at it. We'll do like maybe one of us to do our Wednesday night advertisement about what we're going to do for Saturday, or at least have it up by Friday so people.
Right.
But no, it depends on what people say. We have our list what we go through, but if somebody come up with some current event, because we really do look at the things that people suggest, and we actually do it. So that's what this scene is about. All right, everybody have a wonderful weekend and be safe this week. Peace in Jesus' name.
Peace.